Of course, we saw the Argos a few weeks ago against Hamilton with Rob Crefo throwing a touchdown pass on a similar type play.
Now for the Stampeders.
But an incompletion for the leading receiver in the CFL. Here's Garcia, has an open man, Terry Vaughn, and Vaughn is met by the newcomer, Marcelo Simmons, who doesn't let him by, and it'll be another punting situation for the Calgary Stampeders. Simmons, the newcomer on the corner out of SMU, matched up against Terry Vaughn.
And they play the zone defense outside. Now you can see the room that Marcelo Simmons is going to give him. Now he comes out. Good strike, good contact, excellent technique of coming to the outside, just absolutely fronting the guy up, getting your pads low into his chest and driving through, stopping him short of a first down.
And Martino on for his second punt. Well, he'll go through a lot of first halves in a season without having to punt the football. And just got that away. Contact on the kicker, so the flag is thrown. Cunningham picks up the ball. There's a no yards flag as well. So penalties at either end of that punt by Tony Martino. Looks like the former Stampeder, Frank Yeboah-Cody, was the man who made contact on Martino.
He did an excellent job of working to get himself free to get up into the face of Martino, but what you have to do is take a better angle.
Roughing the kicker, Toronto, number 15. We also have a 5-yard, no-yard penalty against Calgary, number 3. Net difference is 10 yards, and it's 1st and 10, Calgary.
I was going to say, when you get free up the line of scrimmage and you get that clear, you've got to take an angle. Look, he's going to come straight on to Martino. If you're going to come straight on, you have to make sure you have contact with the ball. If you don't have contact with the ball, don't have contact with the kicker.
Yeboah-Cody, one of 2 non-imports picked up by the Argonauts because of their rash of injuries this week from the Calgary roster. Dwayne Dimitrishan, a former Stampeder, also picked up. So they give the ball back to the Stampeders, and Terry Vaughn in the flat just caught that in front of Marcelo Simmons.
Terry Vaughn, his 52nd reception of the year. And I tell you what, this guy has been a real find and a real treat to the Calgary receiving corps. He came in and he had a lot of pressure on him because they lost a number of great wideouts to the NFL, and this guy has come and really produced.
Yeah, Will Moore, Brian Wiggins gone. Terry Vaughn has stepped in. Pee Wee Smith's played a bigger role this year. And the Stampeders moving on offense. Second down, the give to Stewart. Tony Stewart to the Argonaut 40. That's close to a first down. Jermaine Younger, Jeff Cummins combine on the tackle.
First guy to hit up for the Argonauts, number 99, Jeff Cummins.
Well, some heat on Tony Stewart. He's dropped the football more than the Stampeders would have liked this year, with 7 fumbles. And he knows he has to respond. He's been nicked a few times this year. Last week answered with that 100-yard game.
Well, I think, Coach Wanaway is very fair about it, and he's very straightforward. He doesn't dress anything up. He just told him flat out, this is what you have to do. You've got to hold on to the ball. Particularly now, it's not by chance that they're starting to rush the ball a little bit more. It is going to be coming this colder weather. The snow's going to start to fly, and they're going to need a solid rushing game.
3rd and 1, and the Argos were jumping on the play, and flags are down.
After drawing a flag.
Well, we saw the change in the offensive coordinator and the offside call against the Argos in Hamilton, and that basically sounded like
Offside, Toronto's 74, first down, Calgary.
Sounded like one of the reasons the move was made. See the movement here, a couple jumped, Younger first.
First and 10 Stampeders from the Argonauts.
But Don Southern, realizing a cold weather offense is needed, wanted to see a little bit more of a running attack. Apparently Dieter Brock did not agree. Here's Garcia throwing, and a nice defensive play there by the veteran Don Wilson.
Garcia
stepping in front of Vince Danielson.
Number 88, nearly picked off by the Argonauts.
Don Wilson has just found new life as this rover back that they have, an outside linebacker, 34 years old, 6 picks already this season. Good foot speed. Now look at the break on the ball. Reads the receiver. very, very well. Makes the break underneath the catch. Almost gets his hands on it for his 7th pick.
Second down, 10.
Midway through the first quarter, Jeff Garcia facing 2nd and 10 from the Argo 35. Has some time, and now outlet pass to Sapunjas, who cuts it back, and Dave Sapunjas will have the first down. 3rd completion for Jeff Garcia, and Dave Sapunjas has catch number 92 on the year.
Calgary has started to incorporate a little bit of this, what they call red throwback or blue throwback, depending on whether it's right or left. Get the formation going one way, get the receiver, in this case, Dave Sapunjas coming back across the grain all the way wide open. Jeff Garcia having plenty of time to stop, plant, throw the ball to the leading receiver in the CFL.
First down, Stamps on the move. Tony Stewart tripped up as he crossed the 20-yard line. Pickup of close to 4 for Stewart. Remember, this drive prolonged by a roughing the punter penalty against the Argonauts. Got a theory on why Stewart may have picked up his game. They bring in another running back, and his name is Charlie Brown. Would you want to be replaced by Charlie Brown?
I think, well, that may have a little bit to do with it. I think that little bug that Coach Wally Bono put in his ear had a lot to do with it.
2nd and 5, and here's Tony Stewart running for the end zone. Touchdown! Stewart showed you his running ability earlier, finishes the drive with the reception, his 3rd touchdown through the air this year.
Does a good job. Straight drop back pass. Again, it's just crossing routes coming from the wide side of the field. They get caught in a man-to-man coverage. You can see Jermaine Younger trying to chase from behind. He gets an excellent block coming back in by Terry Vaughn, and then all of a sudden he finds the corner of the end zone, gets it in for the major.
Mark McLaughlin adds the point after. Tony Stewart with his 6th touchdown of the year, and Calgary's on top. Well, the drive was kick-started by a roughing the punter penalty, and then Tony Stewart went to work.
He's just a great athlete. What this Calgary offense has is so many weapons. They're using him so well out of the backfield, both as a rusher and as a pass receiver.
Here's Jimmy Cunningham. That great burst of Cunningham's just lost his footing as he was revving it up around the 45-yard line.
Chris, let's go back and just take a look at this this touchdown. Now, this is Tony Stewart going to stand right here. All you're going to see is him walk in, come across the formation. You're going to see Toronto back up in a zone defense. Everybody's going to look. Now the pass is thrown underneath. Here's where Terry Vaughn comes in, picks up the most dangerous man, and that happened to be Jermaine Younger, and that allows Tony Stewart to get into the end zone.
Number 3 in Canada will take on the University of Alberta Golden Bears on Saturday, October 14th. It's the 10th annual Shrine Bowl.
Got an injured Argonaut after the kickoff. Haven't picked up a number yet.
And you know what? Some of the new jerseys in the league this year make it very hard to pick up numbers because they have the smaller jersey numbers on the front and the larger numbers are on the back, so it really is quite difficult.
Yeah, we're told it's Jason Jakovic who is down. 5:44 left, first quarter, 7-1 Calgary, and they're calling for the cart for the reserve safety of the Argonauts. Former Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
Now, this is a guy that was part of that head-hunting tough special teams over there in Winnipeg. And he just goes in there has no respect for his body whatsoever. He throws it around.
Speaking of Winnipeg, they were throwing it around last night. Looked a little like the Bombers of old. Well, while they attend to Jakovic, we'll take a timeout here at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Being very careful with the left knee of Jason Jakovic as he's now on the cart. And Kep, what happened on that play?
Now, it looks like he just got rolled up by Sean Daniels. Okay, just as we get right here, Here's the knee. I want you to look right in this area. Stop it right there, okay? Now watch it as Sean Daniels comes over and he rolls up underneath as that leg is planted down, and it just gets twisted up. He goes out of frame right there, so we're not exactly sure what happened after the contact, but there's where the contact did take place.
First down for the Argonauts, and they toss it back to Marvin Graves. He's looking downfield. Creepo can't bring it in. Working against Greg Frers, a little razzle-dazzle against Hamilton. Creepo through the touchdown pass, and that time Graves on the toss back from Clements was looking deep.
Well, a little razzle-dazzle here. Now look at this. This ball is a little bit on the line. Maybe had he sailed that up a little bit and let Creepo have an opportunity to run underneath it. He had about 2 steps on the defender. May have had a chance, but Marvin just threw the ball, I think, just a little bit too much on the line.
10 for the Argos.
So it's 2nd and 10 from the Argo 44. Graves over the middle, incomplete. Matt Finley was all over Jock Climby. And so far, Marvin Graves 0 for 3 against the red defense.
Well, and Matt Finley's got to be upset now because he normally is going to pick these passes off. He has 3 interceptions, a big interception last week against Winnipeg to stall the final second drive that they had going in against Calgary, and he does a good job there of deflecting the ball down.
Terry Baker with the 3rd down punt to Marvin Coleman. Coleman trying to get outside. Argos string it out to get a flag. Cover well. And this will be a holding call against Calgary. And Pee Wee Smith was trying to cause some interference for
Number 74, Jermaine Younger.
His return mate.
Downfield first for Toronto.
47-yard punt.
Holding. 86 Calgary on the run back. 10-yard penalty. First.
Matt Finley celebrating his 33rd birthday this week.
So Wally Buono conferring with Coleman, and there's a look at Pee Wee Smith.
Just to the left of your screen there. Pee Wee just grabs a little bit of the cloth that allows Coleman to get back inside, and Bud Steen was right there with the call.
So Garcia backed up. Calgary will start from their own 10-yard line. And Garcia pulls it down, and he's up to the 17, pickup of 7 yards on the play for Jeff Garcia. And he's over 200 yards rushing on the season last week. 5 carries, just 10 yards, but he got into the end zone twice.
This is a very important part of this offense that I think to really test the defense. If you have the mobile quarterback like this, they really have to respect him, and they just can't run and look up the receivers. They have to keep their eye on Jeff Garcia, or else he's going to do that continually.
They mark it at the 18, 2nd and 2. Tony Stewart hit the line and doesn't get any further.
Tony Stewart would have been lucky to hit the line. I think he hit the wall, Chris.
Jermaine Younger providing
It'll be 3rd down, Calgary.
the brick wall.
Nicknamed the Tank, 5'11", and he's about 250. You remember an old linebacker that played in Toronto? Tank Landry. He was there. This guy is another tough one that can patrol the middle from tackle to tackle.
Bob Abelvich saying that he's starting to get a little familiar in the middle. Tough adapting to a new game, reading your book and talking about your first couple of games in the CFL.
There was some hairy moments out there. Younger's biggest problem right there is having a little problem adjusting to the pass defense. This feels a lot wider. There's a lot more area that he has to cover.
High snap pulled down by Martino. Short punt. And there's Cunningham fielding it at the 45-yard line. There'll be a no-yards penalty as well. And that'll be 5 more tacked on as the Argos have put some heat on Martino in this first quarter. 3:27 to go. 7-1 Calgary.
No yards. Calgary number 83. It's a 5-yard penalty as first down Toronto.
That's Tyrone Williams, who has been pretty well exclusively a special teams guy in his first 2 games in the first quarter tonight, but we're expecting to see him as part of this offense by the end of the night against the Argonauts.
Well, I think that's by design that Coach Buono wanted to test him, find out about his heart, and see how much he was going to work on the special teams before he gave him a position.
There's the first catch of John Morton's CFL career on the long out. Native of Pontiac, Michigan and Western Michigan University. 3 years on the practice roster of the Los Angeles Raiders. They moved to Oakland, he's moved to Toronto.
Number 80, Morton with the catch.
Now these are good things to do early in the game. It's what he needs to do. Build the confidence, throw the ball short. This Calgary defense is a veteran defense. They're not going to give up the home run ball. Take the underneath stuff and be patient.
Argos with a first down at the Calgary 30. Graves 1 for 4, and this time gives it to Clemens. Cuts back. Pinball down about the 28-yard line. Ball came loose. Apparently the whistle had blown.
Number 91.
Little surprised they went away from the rushing game last week, kept Clemens with 94 yards, most of it in the first half against Saskatchewan.
Take a look, just the deep draw, and then he's going to try to move around. But this is a great, disciplined Calgary defense. They stay in their lanes, they pursue, and when they get to the spot where they're supposed to be, they put a hurt on you.
Looked like that ball came loose before he hit the turf. 2nd and 8, and Graves had Creepo open and overthrows the receiver. That's a couple of open men that he has just missed.
It's 3rd down.
And Chris Giaskis, Dwayne Ford, a former Stampeder, having words, and that is Will Johnson. A couple of old teammates comparing notes.
I don't think they were talking about like where you're going to have dinner after the game or any of that kind of stuff. But take a look at it right at the last minute. Ford gets hit from behind by Zizakovic, but all of a sudden Will Johnson comes in and does a little pushing and shoving, and then, hey, you got to take ejection of that. First you got to get off the ground, get off your back and turn around. Then Dwayne Ford had something to say.
Derry Baker attempting a 36-yard field goal. Spotted by Sean Knight, the backup quarterback, and Baker's good.
36-yard field goal.
And it's a 7-4 game. Field goal execution cost the Argos last week against Saskatchewan, when Bob Obilovich saw his team blow a couple of easy field goals. The snap from center, a problem there.
Two very poor snaps, and I think that's a real crucial thing. Now that they do have Pierre Vercheval back in there, he is their field goal snapper, and he is the guy that they're getting used to. So when you lose a guy like that, you lose the snapper. You may have a different holder. Everything, those 3 people between the snapper, the holder, and the kicker, they all work in unison, and if one little guy is out of whack just a little bit, it throws it off as it did last week.
7-4. Calgary leads, has the ball, and Terry Vaughn carrying it out of the backfield. We were told that
Number 2, Terry Vaughn,
we might see Vaughn set up
Stampeders.
on occasion.
Held to a 1-yard gain.
And a short gain for Vaughn on his first carry of the night. Down to the final minute of the first quarter.
2nd down and 9 for the Stampeders at their 36.
Chris, take a look. 83, Tyrone Williams is in the lineup as a wideout for the first time.
6 receivers out, and Garcia quickly over the middle. They go to the other Western receiver. Dave Sapundis at midfield has a first down, and now the Stampeders on the season over 5,000 yards, but this is not a good sign. Jeff Garcia's on the limp. Doug Flutie in the broadcast booth just to our left tonight, and now Garcia in some discomfort. The backup quarterback tonight is University of Calgary product Bob Torrance.
When they made the trade earlier last week for Sean Moore, but Sean Moore is just not ready to take on this offense right now. He didn't get into Calgary until Wednesday.
They hand it off to Stewart. And he is into Argo territory at the 51. Jeff Cummins, big country who's played so well at defensive end for the Argos with the tackle. And while Stewart was coming out of the pile, Garcia was testing that leg. There's Torrance charting at the moment, along with Sean Moore. Wally Buono said not to expect Moore tonight, but Torrance would be the backup. Here's Garcia planting, firing, and Alan Pitts has the catch. And another first down at the Argo 39-yard line. on the final play of the first quarter.
For the Stampeders.
And Garcia still wincing,
Final play of the
but he
first
threw a
quarter.
touchdown pass in the opening frame, and Calgary has the lead.